Hello, everybody, and welcome to another amazing episode of Keever's Place, the Keever Murdoch Show and podcast. So tonight, or actually for the next 2 to 3 weeks, we're going to have several guests on our show, which is going to talk about this upcoming summit that we're going to dive into a little bit later on during the show. So tonight, I'm super excited to have three amazing guests and a visionary leader in regards to this summit. So we're going to talk to the visionary leader first, Dr. Takima Dorsey, and we're going to tell you everything you need to know about this upcoming summit that's going to take place in January. So you will have no excuse to do what you need to do to make sure you are registered and ready. And then we're going to bring on three amazing guests because we're going to kick the summit off with not adults, but with teens. So you know what we do every Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go ahead and grab your favorite drink, get yourself comfortable, sit back and enjoy the ride because you're finally at home at Keever's Place. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Keever's Place, the Keever Murdoch Show and podcast. We hope that by the end of our show, you're left feeling empowered, motivated, and connected. So come on in the room, grab your favorite drink, sit back, and enjoy the ride because you're finally at home at Keever's Place. Now give it up for our host and producer, Coach Keever Lernice Murdoch.
So welcome back to Keever's Place, the Keever Murdoch Show and podcast. Coach Keever Lernice Murdoch, and I'm super excited to have you join us on tonight. So tonight, I'm going to introduce to you, she is no stranger to our show. She's been just on our show just recently, and we brought her back so that we can kick off. This is the official launch for the It's Time to Go Deep Summit. So we're going to bring on our virtual stage, Dr. Takima Dorsey, so we can discuss everything about the summit. So come on in, Dr. Dorsey. How are you?
I am super excited. It is awesome. The spirit is moving in this season. You are so wonderful and phenomenal. So thank you. Thank you for just being open to this show and bringing these current leaders in the future of the United States on your show. Like, this is so phenomenal. I'm just going to shut up right now, but I'm just excited and just thank you.
It's so amazing because you just hit the nail right on the head. These are not, we're going to be talking to them shortly, but these are not leaders of the future. They are leaders of today because, the Bible lets us know that we have to train up our children in the way they should go. So it starts today. So I'm super excited to have them as guests tonight because they are already positioned, they're already in place, and they're already stepping into their own legacies and building destinies. And not only that, setting the examples and showing the other youth and adults that it really doesn't matter what age you are. All you have to do is start. You have to just start somewhere. So I'm super excited to have our audience learn a little bit more about them. But before that, tell our guests a little bit more about the summit. Like, what is It's Time to Go Deep Summit, and why should they care to get involved?
Yes, and so hopefully everyone can understand that this show is not about me. It's not about Coach Keever. It is all about who you're going to learn about. And so the mission behind the It's Time to Go Deep Summit is to provide personal development and business growth training to nonprofits, small businesses, and entrepreneurs, as well as aspiring entrepreneurs, while increasing resources to urban market. And there are several overlays as to why this summit is so important. One, we're closing the gap between meeting current business owners or individuals where they are. We assume that business owners and individuals have access to professional development from the personal standpoint or the business standpoint. And while we're assuming, instead of gaps closing, they are widening. And so we're hoping through this unique pathway and game-changing summit that will be able to help individuals create a blueprint, a framework, a system or process wherever they are in life to now increase who they are, improve their family, improve their business, but most importantly, be the resource to their community, as that's what businesses are for. And the mission of the theme is to learn what you don't know and teach what you do. And so I have 30 phenomenal speakers, including these youth that are on fire. And here's the great thing, Coach Keever, is that there is no duplication in pathways, right? Every single speaker is in their own unique niche, including these youth. And the youngest youth is 13. Is that possible? Absolutely, because we know all things are possible as long as you believe. And so I believe, I know, and sometimes why this show is so important, Coach Kiva, is because oftentimes we look at youth for their age, not their skill set and ability. But here's what we want to share with the audience that are out there, outside of going right now to register for the summit, is that these youth that's on stage tonight that have already on fire, that have already been international speakers in 2021, they're growing up in a digital age. They growing up with things that adults our age and older than us are still trying to wrap their mind around. And these youth leaders already know it. So they are in a position to really teach us what we don't know while we teach them what we do know. And that's how you close the gap. That's how you close the disparity. This is how you break the poverty level. This is how you get them elevated in that pathway of us talking about the generational wealth and health. It's not a talk. It is an actual implementation. And so I am super excited to be celebrating not just the kickoff of this show with our summit, but the kickoff of a week-long celebration of our VIP Premier Teen Speaker Week. So it is all about these youth this week leading up to next Wednesday. So I'm going to stop because it's not about me. I want to hear from these phenomenal leaders, because let me tell y'all, don't look at the age. Listen to the wisdom that's about to come off from them.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much. And let's just put it out there. For those who want to register for the summit, go ahead and go to it'stimetogodiepsummit.com. It's already on the screen. It's timetogodiepsummit.com. It is absolutely free. So there is no excuse. So go ahead and get yourself registered right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a very brief commercial in regards to the summit, and when we come back, we're going to have in the house Ms. Halee Simons, Mr. Philip Wiggins, and Mr. Beloved J Simons. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back, and we're going to dive right into it. And listen, I promise you, you do not want to miss this show. So let me find it and stay to
Visionary leader, Dr. Takima Dorsey, presents the It's Time to Go Deep Summit, the #1 international development summit transforming urban markets. The It's Time to Go Deep Summit is not a normal summit. It's a game-changing summit. The mission of the It's Time to Go Deep Summit is to provide personal development and business growth training to nonprofits, small businesses, and entrepreneurs while increasing resources to the urban market. The It's Time to Go Deep Summit is uniquely different because it is the only summit focused on transforming the urban market by providing training resources to leaders and managers so they can become the resources needed in their community, their industry, and themselves. The It's Time to Go Deep Summit speakers are experts in their industries and remain excited to serve, increase greater impact, and to leave the legacy they are destined to do as did their ancestors. The It's Time to Go Deep Summit goal is to share proven methodology and best practices to current and aspiring leaders and managers for success in business and in life. The It's Time to Go Deep Summit's objective is to assist in the formulation of a blueprint, framework, system, or process for attendees that evoke immediate action. Professional and personal training are ongoing goals needed for positive and transformational growth and development. The It's Time to Go Deep Summit focus is on closing the disparities and barriers that exist by meeting nonprofits, small business owners, and entrepreneurs where they are. The theme of this year's summit is Learn What You Don't Know and Teach What You Do. Grab your free virtual ticket now at www.itstimetogodiepsummit.com.
And welcome back to Keeper's Place, the Keeper Murdoch Show and podcast. So as promised, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and bring our youth of today up on our stage. So we're going to bring in Miss Halee Simons, Mr. Philip Wiggins, and Mr. Beloved J. Simons. Hi, everybody. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Great.
I'm doing good.
Awesome. So we just heard what this summit is all about, and I'm super excited to be able to talk to you all in a little bit more detail about the summit. So I want to first of all get you acquainted with our audience. So we're going to start with you, Halee. Tell us a little bit more about you and what it is that you do.
Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Halee Simons. I am 15 years old. I'm the CEO of Health X Enterprises. I have been advocating for urban youth and I do this for the triathlon for 7 years now. My business is a part of the Baltimore and Maryland Chamber of Commerce. I'm also the NAACP Runnerstown Youth Council of Baltimore County. And I'm so very excited to be here. And thank you for giving me this opportunity to be on your podcast for today.
Thank you so much. Beloved Jay, give us a brief introduction, sir.
Hi, everyone. My name is Beloved Joshua Simons. I am 13 years old. I am the owner of Beloved J's public speaking firm. I am one of the co-founders of the ITTGD Multi-Sport Club. I am also, my business is also a part of the Baltimore and Maryland Chamber of Commerce. I am the second vice president of the NAACP Runnerstown Youth Council of Baltimore County, and I'm also excited to be here.
Thank you so much. Wonderful. Nice to meet you as well. Mr. Philip Wiggins, how are you?
I'm doing really good today.
Very well. Give us a little bit more background about you as well.
All right. Well, I am 16 years old. I'm a sophomore in high school. I help my mom with her business, Building Wealth Together. Right now, I'm focusing on my football career. My team is going to the state championships tomorrow to play in Dallas AT&T Stadium, and I do band. I focus a lot on band, and that's about it for me.
Well, congratulations on that championship. Amazing. So let's talk a little bit about your businesses, because you all have your own businesses. So I'm super excited to just find out a little bit more about what actually inspired you. Like Dr. Takima said it perfectly, not to look at the age, because there are some that's out there that get so focused on you being 15, you being 16 years old. So what actually inspired you to want to be a voice for your community?
I guess I'll go first. What made me be a voice in my community is for the past 7 years, my brother and my older sister, that like I said, we are all the co-founders of the ITTGD Multi-Sport Club. And we have been advocating for urban youth in the community for a while. And I thought it was my chance to step into my own spotlight and also have a voice in the community. What inspired me to start my own business was thanks to my mom, because of how hardworking she was, how she was putting in the time and effort to stand up for what's right, and also to be a voice for young African Americans like all of us on this call now. And since there's not a lot of us in the sport, I thought it was time for me to use my business as a platform to speak on more of why there should be more youth in the triathlon sport community, more student leaders, inspiring business owners, that they know that they have a business platform and voice to use, And so that's what inspired me to start my business.
Okay. What about you, beloved J?
One half of the part was also because of my mom. Well, actually, no, the whole part was because of my mom. Because she opened the door to new possibilities for me, and new opportunities for me to step outside my comfort zone. And because of what she has done for me, I have realized out in the community that people, well, as you all know, my business is called Beloved J's public speaking firm, where I advocate for urban youth and through this. I'm sorry, I advocate for urban youth with disabilities, lend their voices for change, and because of my mom, she has opened the my eyes a little bit more, because of the community that I'm in. A lot of people that have disabilities aren't stepping out of their comfort zone, and because of my business I can help with that. So
Mm-hmm. And I love that because there are so many people, like you said, that may not have that strength or know exactly how to be the voice or be their own self advocate. So I applaud you for speaking up for that underrepresented group of people. So kudos to you. Philip, what actually
Well,
got
my
you
mom,
started?
I do not personally own a business. I do, however, consider myself. My mom not may not agree with me, but I consider myself her assistant manager in her business, building well together. My inspiration is completely my mom. It's been her since day one. She's been there for me ever since I was born. I dedicate everything to her and obviously to the Lord who I serve. But I basically all I'm doing is because of my mom. I wouldn't even be here right now if it wasn't for her sitting me down, telling me to do this. Because I didn't at first have a passion to speak in front of people. I was always really scared. But my mom has been helping me, taking me through everything. So I guess in a way, this could kind of be kind of my business speaking because I can make money off of doing this. I do make money other ways in school, making bets, arm wrestles and other things like that just to make money. But yeah, everything I do is just because of my mom. Thanking her, she's been my inspiration to day one.
Beautiful. So let me ask you something because I know, believe it or not, I was once a teen, wasn't that long ago. So I know that when you are a thought leader, when you are different than your peers, some may not understand or I really don't know what your school dynamic look like, but I'm curious to know, how do your peers perceive you as being the thought leaders, the workers of today? Actually, like, do you struggle with any school dynamics in that regard, and if so, how can you speak to the next person that's walking along the same path you are, that may be struggling with some of those school dynamics? You want to start?
Well, so basically my peers, my friends in school, they all think it's really cool because my mom took me on my birthday and made them sit down and do some John Maxwell things, and they all found it to be really cool. And then when they found out that I actually do speaking, they all thought that actually made me cooler, even though they don't really think I'm really that cool because I do talk a lot. But yeah, they are really cool with it. In school wise, the reason I don't have my own business is because with the school I'm doing right now, I'm in a lot of dual classes. I'm doing a ton of college courses, working with football, going to college football camps. So I with school, I don't have the time to do much else. I can't say it's impossible because I do watch TV a lot with my stepdad, but honestly, for anybody that wants to do it, it's never impossible. It's just about the amount of work that you want to put into it, because it's possible for anybody.
Exactly. What about you, Haley?
That okay. So I'll start off with at first being coming back into a school setting of being virtual for a whole year, and the start off for my freshman year was virtual. Not the best high school experience, but I will say it was an eye opener to like what high school was like. And the moment I got into the school, and I knew that I needed to speak more about my business, so people are aware of what I do, that was kind of challenging because it has been 2 years since I've been in a high school setting. So that was a little scary at first, but then my mom was like hyping me up and everything. She's like, Haley, it's okay. You haven't been in the school setting for a while. And you know that you do have to advocate for your own voice. And if people don't know who you are, how are you going to be able to like invite people to your business and stuff? So that wasn't until I started to speak about more to my business, my teachers, my friends, my classmates, everybody started to be aware of what I do, and they thought it was really cool what I was doing. One of my friends did tell me that they're like, Halee Simons, you are a very busy woman, and I'm like, yeah, I am, but there's also a program of exactly what I do called SBLA, and for some of those kids, I know that they do want to start their own businesses, but they don't know where to start. I would like to help them and lend a voice and some experience on what I do know, and actually be able to help teach them how to like start their business, how to do marketing, knowing that it's important to advocate for yourself. So yeah.
So, and speaking of which, you actually have an academy where you do work with, youth and pretty much teaching and installing those business foundational practices. So do you want to expound a little bit more about that before we move to Beloved J?
Yes, so that's exactly, so everything what you just said is correct. I do have a business academy called Hales as Business Academy. And what that academy is about helping youth leaders, entrepreneurs, or young inspiring youth that want to start their own business, but they don't know how to, or if they already have a business of theirs and they don't know like how to market or expand, or how to set an image for yourself or set yourself up for success. That's basically what I teach other youth and other kids to do, so that when they walk out of my program, they'll be able to set a goal, put it in place, achieve it, and move right on to the next thing. So they're not just running a business, but running a successful business that they can have underneath their belt.
Great job. Great job. Wonderful. So, Beloved Jay, that same question to you. How do you have you experienced any difficulties with the school dynamics, being that you are a business owner? And if you have, how can you offer advice to the next teen or youth that may be going through something similar?
So let me just start off with by saying that nobody in my school like had a business. I'm sorry, nobody in my school knew about my business at all. Like obviously because of me being virtual and stuff like that, and not being vast and around like that and stuff like that. So like it also like I don't know how, like 2 months ago, where I walked in with my IBT shirt, with which is the nonprofit that I'm a co-founder of, and someone said to me like, BJ, where'd you get that shirt from? And I was explaining to them like how I got it, in my mom being the founder of the bit my IBT, and me being the co-founder and stuff like that. And someone was like, hey, that's really cool, and they were started talking, and then I told about my business, and that's how all these people like the word spread, and everybody knew about my business now. So yeah, and someone came up to me and I was like, BJ, how did you or Beloved J, how did you start your own business? And because it's like it's really hard, and I'm like, it's not really that hard. You just need to know what to do. Um, so and obviously they didn't know what to do because they're they're not they don't know like how to like obviously start it. So I also want to just say to them like, just if you know where to start, you can continue off of like where you want to like where you're starting and then move forward to next level.
Yeah, and that is perfectly said. And the biggest thing is, I truly believe, amongst us, and I kind of feel like, and tell me what you all think about this too. Sometimes I kind of feel as if the youth are left behind in the aspect of they don't really get the opportunities that they need to be able to show what they know, what they can do. And we just had a perfect example right before we aired as far as technology. And when I was coming up, of course, technology was very, very different. And now it seems like the world is virtual, but that's an avenue that you youth really dominate, and you do that extremely well. But do you find where youth may be overlooked or not really given a lot of the opportunities to really showcase what they know or what they can do?
Oh,
Go ahead, it's fine.
okay. I just want to definitely say yes because just the blankly yes because around 16 and under people or youth, they don't get the opportunities that they want to have at that moment, and when they grow up, they that opportunity might fade away and they wouldn't know what to do. And a lots of youth, they start like with their job like as a 9 to 5 shifts and at McDonald's and Burger King and stuff like that, and I don't think that they want to do that, and but they have to because they need to get money and stuff so that they can possibly move out and have enough like college debt and stuff like that, and like then they don't want to have a 9 to 5 shifts and they don't want to work at McDonald's. And if they had that opportunity at that time, when they were young or like when they were youth still, they would be more successful. And they even like I said earlier, they don't know where to start. So yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely do agree 100% that youth are being overlooked, and I think that's because of our age. There's very young business owners younger than me and Beloved J that are like 12 and 13 doing successful things at even a young age that I believe most adults can't do in their 20 years. But that I guess that's because of our age, and adults and entrepreneurs are like, why is she like this? She should be like worrying about like her next prom party or getting ready to like go get her nails done and this, that, and the third. And I feel like that's the reason why kids like us are being thrown away, because our voices aren't being heard enough. And we are here to say like we're capable of doing things at such a young age too. And we want to set ourselves up for success in the future. And we can't have that opportunity if adults like us, adults of other people in the business world and in the world in general, keep throwing youth like us on the tone now under the bus like this. And it does make us feel some type of way at first, but then we do have to realize like it's the real world. We're gonna experience this many times. But us experiencing this only makes us much more stronger and motivates us more to keep going and keep pushing for who we are, so that our voices are being heard and we are advocating for what we want to do and what's right.
So it sounds like what I'm hearing you all say is that when youth are pushed along and they are encouraged to dig into their natural innate gifts and abilities, it can literally change the trajectory of their lives.
Oh, can I just say
Yes,
one more
ma'am.
thing too?
Yes, ma'am.
I guess it's also of the base of the mindset too, because some kids that are like really young with businesses, their mindset can occur a little more mature. I guess if that's the word. than most adults because they know like they have this topic that they want to do. Not enough people are talking about this topic that they want to do. Say for example, if it's um, youth not being heard in underrepresented communities or like city communities. They have a problem that they want to solve, but not everyone is talking about it, or people are not being heard for what they want, and they want to be able to change the voices of other people. And that also comes in terms of a mindset and them shifting their thinking, like, oh wait, this is reality. This is what when we turn 18, this is the kind of world that we want to step in. So I guess they want to at least change the world for the better before future generations or more generations like us can step into a better world to be able to live freely and do things that they want.
I would like to kind of add off of that because um, since we're like a new generation of like human beings, we know like how people did like what they did back then, like with like what happened last year and like all the civil rights stuff that happened and all the historic times and all that stuff. So our minds can snap like that, like more. We can be more better off like them in the future, and what we want to do when we grow up. So we know what we do, what we should do, and how we should act and stuff like that when we turn 18 and 16 or something like that, and like how we can grow off of what other people like did in the past.
I love that. I love that. So, Philip, I want to bring you into the conversation as well, and I want to ask you. So, in everything that's being said, I do agree with that 100%. But I wanted to ask you, Philip, being that you are a youth, what advice would you offer adults to be able to best support you in helping you get your vision, your thoughts, your business forward? So how can adults best support you?
Well, I completely agree with everything that's been said. I know really quickly, I want to add one more thing is that there are some parents out there who don't know they don't necessarily know that they're doing anything wrong with their kids. They don't have the resources to teach their kids about anything. So, not entirely, it's not that they're not acknowledging or they're looking down on the teenagers, is that they don't have the resources, they don't have the knowledge to teach them because they themselves never had the opportunities to learn themselves and didn't nobody encouraged them. So there are those type of situations. Now, to adults out there who do have the opportunities to teach their kids and still look down on them, don't think that they are ready for anything, there is always a way for them to like improve in whatever they're doing, do better. All you have to do is just encourage them, help them, nurture them, and just be there to whenever they fail to lift them up. Make sure you keep pushing them. Don't let them quit. Make sure you help them reach their goal, and that will later on help them benefit later on in life.
I love it. Well said. Well said. I am enjoying you all. I mean, just y'all are so full of so much wisdom to be so young, and you remind me of a modern day Martin Luther King Jr.'s the just just those forward thought leaders of yesteryears is right here encompassed in just the wisdom and just how well spoken you guys are. I am so excited to have youth like you all as being our future, because you bring a whole new perspective, you bring your own ideas, and I just want to applaud you all for being strong enough to stand in your truth, being strong enough to find your voice, and not being willing to sacrifice who you are or quit for any rhyme or reason. So kudos to you all. All right. We're going to wrap up, but I want to know on a lighter note, what are your biggest pet peeves? It can be business, it can be personal, it can be in school. So we're going to go around the room and we're going to talk about what your biggest pet peeves are. So Philip, we're going to start with you.
Well, I have a personal pet peeve. One of my biggest pet peeves is when somebody thinks they know everything, and not in a joking way. Like, cuz I'll joke with my friends that I'm perfect, I know everything, but they know and I know that I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. I don't know everything. I definitely know I don't know everything cuz there's so many things that I would like to learn. But there are those people that think they know everything, that they have the answers to everything, and then they like they say that you're dumb for not knowing something. And most of the time they don't even know, they're not even smart. Like they don't know anything. And that just gets on my nerves a lot whenever I'm smarter than those people who are like, I'm the best, I'm the smartest, I'm perfect in every way.
But you know what? When you good like that, you don't even have to like advertise it. You don't even have to let people know how good you are because it just projects. They, know that. So abs- absolutely love that one. Beloved J, what's your biggest pet peeve?
Well, my biggest pet peeve would, could you skip me? Like, come back to me, because like
Okay, sure. You can think about it. Haley, what about
Uh,
yours?
um, I don't want to say this is a pet peeve, but I would have to agree with Philip when one person thinks that they're smarter than everybody else. Like I could say, for example, on our because I do take AP and honors classes, and one of the classes that I have almost every single day is AP biology. So we're doing a mini assignment in class. We're doing a mini assignment in class, and it's out of 6 points. So I got a 5 out of 6 on it, which is a B. And my other friend, she got a 6 out of 6 on her assignment. The next thing she does is turn around to me and she's like, "Look, I got 1 point higher than you." I wanted to jump over the table to her, but I'm like, you know what? Let's keep it professional. We're not doing this today. So me and her just argue, not like in a bad way. We both argue back and forth, saying who was better than the other one, and that when it comes to the assignment the next time, that I was going to beat her or she was going to beat me. So I guess that's like a competitive thing that I have, but I would have to say that would have to be my pet peeve.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Love it. Are you ready?
yeah. So my biggest, most worst pet peeve would be if someone has a bad mood. No. Actually, it'll be like if somebody like is all golly happy with somebody else, and when with someone that's like, no, generally popularity, because like at school, if like someone's like kind of like in the high top, like the high league, like being popular, um, if like they're chatting with their friends and stuff, and there's that one kid that's like kind of low, like with the popularity, and they walks up to the popular person and says something to them, they'll give like the death stare, like for no reason, just blankly stares at them and talking trash about them like for no reason. Like what's the deal with that? Like I can't stand it. And um my one friend, he there's one time when my one friend, he was talking, he was walking up to this popular person, and that popular person, she just got mad over him for no reason. Like I just can't stand it. It's just too much. It's too much negativity over something so simple and so delicate that you could just.
Mm-hmm.
I also have one more pet peeve. It's the fact the I think this is a really big pet peeve of mine, but with that whenever we're learning in class and I'm trying to look at the board and there's one person staring at me for I don't know how long, and I don't know. It's just something about someone staring at me while I'm trying to focus that really irks on my nerves, like really bad. But I'm friends with that person, so I guess we kind of joke when it comes to like staring at someone. But I just can't stand the fact that someone could be staring at me while I'm trying to focus, and that they're distracting me while I'm trying to learn from education. But that's it.
One more, just this one more. Okay. One more is like that, like one totally energetic person, like that. It's like they have too much energy, like at the beginning of the day, and then at the end of the day, they're so emotional. Like it's just it's like one of my worst pet, like another worst pet peeve would just be someone that's really hyper in the beginning of the day, and all the rest of the people, they just don't want to deal with it. And then at the end of the day, like school, they like everyone's all energized and happy and stuff like that. And that one kid that was hyper in the beginning of the day is so emotional and so tired and stressed about something that was like really like something, I don't know, but like it just irks my nerves.
There is one more thing that I do have, a pet peeve that like really gets on my nerve, maybe even more than somebody thinking they know everything, is that whenever I'm on the football field or in football practice and some wide receiver or some really weak lineman hits me during a drill or something, and then later they don't get in trouble for it, and then later on I smack them, just absolutely just lay them out. I get in trouble by the coaches for hitting too hard because I'm not supposed to hit, because they don't want people to be injured for championships or other games. It just gets on my nerves because I'm not allowed to hit or hit back on the football fields whenever they hit me. That's also one thing that gets on my nerves a lot.
I would agree with him. I would agree with Philip. Not just because of like football, just like anything. Like there's two people, right? There's one person, that first person does something and like just for no reason, and they don't get in trouble, but the other person, they also do it, that they get in trouble. Like, why would that, like, why, what's the meaning of that? The person, like, it's like when you're in school, right? There's like two people in the classroom, that one person does something to the other person has to do it back, and the person that did it back has to get in trouble for it, even though the person that did it first. Yeah.
Well, to that, my stepdad is actually a teacher, and he's told me multiple times, because I keep getting in trouble for doing it. It's never the first person who does it. It's always the next person who does it. It doesn't matter whoever did it first. If somebody else does it, the teacher's always going to catch that person. It's never the first person who gets in trouble, no matter the situation. It's always the second person.
Yeah, I think it's because of probably a chain reaction or something like that. It maybe because if someone does it, then the person does it, then the other person doesn't, or something like that. I don't know.
So the thing about it too is you have to remember is how you react to situations, right? Because we may not have control over what people may do or say to us, right? But we do have control over how we react to certain things. And like Philip just said, you may not be the first person to throw that piece of paper. You may not be the first person to throw that, lick, but 9 times out of 10, you will be the main one to get caught. So what I like to tell people is just make sure that your nose is always clean and nobody can be able to come back to you and hold anything over your head about something you did wrong, right? So we just got to make sure that we are always positioning ourselves to be the bigger person and the better person, if that makes sense. Awesome, but I love your responses, and I know, and we have just a couple more minutes, and I know that you three are so busy. You are so involved in your communities. You're great students. Some of you are running businesses. So I want to know, because it's very important to make sure that you're taking care of your mind, your body, and your spirit, right? So very briefly, starting with Halee, what do you do to make sure that you are good mentally? You are taking that much needed break. So how do you relax and unwind?
There's many things that I do, and one of one thing that I do is do a self-care Sunday. So I know that I am busy from Monday to Saturday, and on Sundays we don't do nothing. If it's like a hangout or go to a party, there's nothing on Sundays because we know that Sundays is God day, and you know that it's time to like just sit down, have time with your family. So one thing that I do is a self-care Sunday, and what I mostly do is I allow my body to wake up itself, because during the week I do have an alarm device that I set that I do need to wake up in the morning, but since it's a Sunday and a relaxed day, I let my body wake up itself. And then after that, that's when I do start to journal because I know that my mind is full with a lot of unnecessary things, and I do like to put it out on paper. And that's one other thing that I do. And then right after that, I do say my morning and daily affirmations that help me start my day on the right foot and also helps with my mindset. Because one thing with affirmations is that whatever any thoughts that you say will appear out in your 3D reality. And so me saying my daily affirmations in the morning is something that helps me on the day to help me have a much more better and relaxed day. Even if it's a sunny day. If it's a sunny day, that's even more better. But if it's a cloudy and rainy day, my day will still be good in general. And the other thing that I do on Sundays as well is to be grateful for the things that God has gave me so far, because I know I wouldn't be able to get here if it wasn't for my mom exposing me to triathlons or the business side of hailing, because I didn't know like 2 years ago that I had a business side of me, which led me to where I am today. And so I do be grateful for the things that I have and also staying in the present moment too, because if I'm always thinking in the future or in the past, and my mind is just going everywhere, but I do have to remember that being in the present moment will help set you off for success. And so those are the mainly things that I do to keep myself in the right moment. And I also do kind of do those things after school too, because we know school is a very hectic day. You have many classes on one day, you're hanging out, having friends. And so what I normally do is immediately when I get home is I take an hour of rest. Because, I just got done having an 8-hour day of school. My mind is filled with learning things that I learned in school. So I just probably just sit on my computer, watch some YouTube, listen to some music, or doing something that's not related to work. And after I rest for an hour and break, that's when I get started into work. So that's what I do on my days of relaxing or my day off. I'm not doing no business, no school, no nothing.
I love it. I love it. And you already have a system. And that was basically what I was, looking for, was to see if you all already had something in place to make sure that you are taken care of and that you are good mentally as well. Awesome. What about you, Philip?
Well, I go to church Sunday, have Tuesday Bible study with my mom and my family, and then I have Wednesday youth. Those by themselves help me just calm down a lot because I'm more connected with God. But also reading my Bible before I go to bed and make sure I'm calm before I go to bed helps me just like be ready for the next day. And then one thing that's really weird for me, or not for me, but maybe for other people, is I will just like sing randomly with my brother, come up with like different little songs that I can sing with him in different keys and have him copy off of me. I don't know why, but it just helps me a lot. Just like relax or refresh myself. I don't know how it helps, but it's just like helps whenever I'm just doing something like that with my brother. That's something that helps refresh me.
I love it. I love it. What about you, beloved Jay?
So, I just want to say first off that I randomly sing throughout the day as well. It doesn't even have to be like me actually taking my voice. It's just like me, listening to like jamming out in my head, or either like humming, or like quietly whispering into like singing like words and stuff like that. Or in my mind, I just make up music and just like, you know, just listen throughout the day. Nextly, uh I think that me waking up early, as early as I like can, helps me throughout the day, because like if I wake up early, like I'll be more aware about like what I'm doing to do like throughout the day. Like I have more time to think, besides like waking up at, you know, sometimes later in the day. Like I go to school around 8 o'clock, 8:10. So if I get up around like 5, 6 ish, I can like have that 3 to 2 hours, like think of what I'm going to do throughout the day, instead of waking up like 7, having only an hour, like do all my preparations and stuff like that, like brush my teeth and like getting dressed. And then like I can feel more aware and be more happy, instead of being like gloomy and sad, and like like having a bad mood, like the whole day. And then when I get home from school, I basically just take kind of what Haley does. Like basically just take like an hour rest, like watch some YouTube, watch some TV, um, go on my computer and stuff like that. Then go to do my homework, which is not really that hard. And then like on the Sundays, I kind of tune into church service as well. And then like basically the weekends, kind of cleaning slash work day, which like Saturdays you clean. And then if you finish that early, you do some of your work for like your business and stuff like that. And then Sundays all about, not all about business, but like if you don't have anything to do, like on those days, we can like do like stuff for work, and like live streams about topics that we want to do, and like, you know.
I do have one more thing that I do include on my routines and on my days off. The other thing that I do like to do is do manifesting, and manifesting is basically means taking what you want to think as in your subconscious mind and put it into your 3D reality. So I won't say the things that I'm trying to manifest right now, but helping to me also to manifest and being able to know that there is something that I do want to desire, but not as desire as a bad thing, but as a good thing. And knowing that I can take it from in my subconscious mind and put it into my 3D reality is very good. And one other thing that I do like to do in the mornings that I do wake up, this is something that I used to do, but I don't do it as much anymore, is I like to cleanse my room. So I would take a sage or something that we have in the house and just like cleanse my room to get rid of any negativity that I may have brought upon myself last week, or anything in the past that I don't want to remember anymore, so that I can start my week off for the new week on a positive note, so that my mindset will be good mentally, physically, spiritually, all, everything in between, so that my weekend will start off again.
That's something us adults don't even think about.
Also, actually, she actually brought up something that I kind of forgot to say. Every time when I go to bed, I pet my cat and then immediately fall on the bed. But if I can't sleep, I always like think of imagination in my mind, like me going somewhere, like well, my main personal thing that I love to think of, like sword fighting, like me like taking a sword and like do like training with an like an imaginable partner that I want to train with. And I don't know why, but it really helps me fall asleep. Like it's just so soothing, um, especially when like you really don't like someone, and thinking of that just makes you help calm yourself down, and yeah, it just helps you fall asleep.
Well, I do love the fact that, like I stated earlier, you all have your own system. So I'm super excited to hear that you have a plan, you have an action, and you already have it implemented into your daily schedules. But let me ask one final question before we go. If you had to offer any advice to any youth who want to start a business or who want to maybe improve their grades, they want to be better than they were the day before, what quick advice or nugget would you give them to take that step and be that advocate, be that voice for not only themselves but everyone around them?
This is here's an advice for me is just go for it. One thing that you do need to keep in mind is all about your mindset, because if you can change your mindset into anything that you want to do. Say for example, for me was I did have to get in the mindset that the fact that I did have a business, I'm doing all of these amazing things at once at such a young age, and there's still more to come. I had to change and train my mindset for the things that I had to do. So one advice that I would give you is it's all about your mindset, because your mindset, your thoughts, and everything that you project will instantly change your life and how you go on your day. The reason why I say mindset, because most people think about and view their life as a vision tunnel, and what they need to start doing is not go from the vision tunnel, but start thinking outward enough. If you want to improve your grades or get better at something that you want to do, you have to be consistent on the things you do. Let's say, for example, it's grades. I did just have an AP biology test today, and I know that AP biology is hard, and it's a 2 credit class that I would receive after completing my sophomore year. But I did have to realize that what it all came down to was me studying. So immediately the week before I had this test today was I knew that I needed to change my study habits. So I would take time every 10 to 20 minutes each day learning about things that I go over in class, and be consistent of it every single day from the day I started to the day up to the test. It's just all about being consistent and having a great mindset and knowing that you can do this, and always thinking positive as well. So that's the advice I would give.
I love that. I love that. What about you, Philip?
Well, since I personally do not own a business, I'm hoping my fellow speakers will agree with me on this. Make sure it's something that you know you want to do. Make sure you actually love the thing that you want to do. And make sure you have somebody that you can trust completely and help you. Like for me, I would personally ask my mom, because she's taught me everything. She knows what I would need to do. Have somebody who can help you go along the lines of what you're doing, and make sure you don't ever quit. Make sure you keep going. If it's something you really want to do, make sure you keep going. Don't stop just because something tries to fight you in it or push you back. Make sure you keep going. Make sure you have somebody who will continue to push you. So make sure you don't quit at it. And that's all I got. I hope my fellow speakers agree with me on that as business owners themselves.
Wonderful advice. What about you, beloved Jay? You will have the final word.
I just like to say, Philip, I definitely agree with you. Having what you want to do and then going for it. Also, Haley, as well, having a mindset, what you want to do, and then changing that mindset to what you want to do as well, helps lead you to success. And for, a thing for me is to just stay determined. And imagination is also key to your success as well, because like let's say if you want to do arts and have an artistic nature like for your future, right? Like saying like you want to be like a digital artist or something like that. um if you have that, let me pick up of Haley and Philip. If you have that mindset and if you want to do that thing, then just stay determined and be persistent. Know what you're going to do, how you're going to do it. Just follow through and never give up. And if like things seem, if things may seem to not work out the way you want to, um even if that happens, just keep going with that thing that you even that just happened. Like let's say if you wanted to make like, I don't know, uh $50, doing a like an drawing, session, something like that, and something happened and you had like 25, I guess. Like keep doing that and keep doing that thing like even better that you want to do. I'm trying to stumble over my words, but yeah, just stay determined, keep being focused, and do it.
That's exactly right. And those are great advice. Yes, Haley.
Oh, I do have one more thing though. I do also I am also a podcaster too. I do also have my own podcast show called Health as Urban Multi-Sport Radio Podcast. And what I talk about on that podcast is more in-depth advice that I would give to young entrepreneurs, athletes, business owners, anyone who's starting out on any journey that they're doing. And some topics I talk about is self-care, time management, how busy it is to be a student, being a student leader, what it takes to be a student leader, and all that and above. And I would just like to share my podcast out there. So
Sure.
if you go to my website at www.healthasenterprises.com and you go to the podcast and radio show tab, you will see all my podcasts that I've made so far, and definitely about like self-care and just important things that everybody that needs to be aware of, and some things that they want to put into perspective and they want to start putting into their lives too. So, and also one more thing too, and with my business as well, I also do photography and coaching services. I do photography across all aspects. So if it's family pictures, portfolio headshots for your business in general, or if you need pictures to update your website or everything, I'm the girl that you want. And if you want to start learning how to swim or get into the sports of triathlons, I do also do that coaching as well. And that also is under www.healthasenterprises.com.
And speaking of which, I have your Facebook. Can people reach you all on Facebook as well?
Yes,
yes, definitely.
Awesome. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have each and every one of these speakers' Facebook information right here below the screen. You can reach Philip, Beloved J, and Haley via Facebook. So it's right here on the screen. So if you want to get in contact with them for any reason, if you want them to speak with your youth, if you want to hire them to be speakers for your next event, definitely reach out to each and every one of them. They are phenomenal. I have enjoyed them, and I know you have too. So definitely let them know how much you appreciate them. And also, the reason why they are here is because it's time to go deep summit. This was just a snippet of these young people tonight. They are actually going to be expert speakers during this event. Okay. So definitely, if you enjoyed them, you want to register for this event today. Okay. Go to it's time to go deep summit.com. It's time to go deep summit.com. It will kick off January the 13th through the 15th of 2022. So we are a little less than a month away, and it's absolutely free. So go ahead and take advantage of it. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight. I think we're going to have you all back right before the summit. So if you would love to come back, I would love to have you. This has been so informative. And you are 15 to 16-year-old, but you're definitely wise beyond your years. So it has truly been an honor as well as a pleasure. And you all are welcome back at Kiva's Place, the Kiva Murdoch Show, anytime. So thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. So definitely join us next Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we will have more speakers. It will not be the youth next Thursday. We will have some of the adults joining us next Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the It's Time to Go Deep Summit. So we're going to be meeting more speakers. So definitely come back and join us right here. So until next week, continue to love, connect, and glow, because we understand that building your network also builds your net worth. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. Peace and blessings. Good night.
Bye.
Thank you for watching Keever's Place, the Keever Murdoch Show and Podcast. Tune in every Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Keever's Place. To be a guest on our show, text the word guest to 803-368-3030 or visit us at tinyurl.com/KeeversPlaceBook. And watch us on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire as we're broadcasting in more than 60 million homes worldwide.